Have you ever wanted a fighter that goes bonk a lot? Well, then this viewer build is for you. So just wanted to say thank you to Samir Chodic. I tried to look up on YouTube how to pronounce the name. I've almost certainly got it wrong, as this person pretty much asked me to do. So what are we? We are a Lothsworn Drow who is a fighter. We'll get to that. So we've got Dexterity +2, Charisma +1. The real reason we are a Drow, an elf, is for the Dexterity +2, and it's what they mentioned. Picked a fighter with 2 weapon fighting, skills, acrobatics, and insights. Insight, so they know, it says here, read people in situations, detect lies. We're going to read the situation to see how many people we can bonk in one go. And then the ability scores, they said we can dump strength. We're going to be using dexterity. And that's all they said. I've put in the rest myself. Constitution of 14, because it's pretty much bog standard. Intelligence of 14, because we are going to be going Eldritch Knight, as much as that pains me. That's what the viewer said. And we're not going to be using the Headband of Intellect, Warped Headband of Intellect, because we've got another headpiece to be wearing. So I put all the other stats into Wisdom, so we have some chance of passing Wisdom saving throws. And that's it, let's get into it. Let's show you levels 2 to 5. At level 2, we just get given Action Surge. At level 3, we get our subclass choice, and as I said, we're going to be an Eldritch Knight. We are not going to pick any attacking cantrips. Maybe we'll pick Fireball, actually, just for the sake of it. And we'll pick Minor Illusion. And for the spells, we're definitely going with Burning Hands. We need that. Since we've got Burning Hands, we don't need Thunder Wave. We'll have Magic Missile. It's always nice to be able to finish people off. And then, because fighters actually benefit quite a bit from having Jump, and I don't think Gale's got it, we're going to give her Jump. And we also get Fairy Fire, but that's based on our Charisma modifier, and that's at -1. Oops. At level 4, we get to pick a new spell. Out of these, we're going to go with Chromatic Orb. It's got utility, it's got different versions. And then for the ability score improvement, nice and simple, a little bit boring sometimes, but always effective, Dexterity +2. And at level 5, we get extra attack. Brilliant. We're not going to replace any spells. We could if we wanted to. Just want to point out that for Eldritch Knights, we can pick a spell such as an Evocation spell and replace it with any spell that we want, but we're not going to do that. And as a Lothsworn Drow, we also get Darkness. It's time to look at the items. The only thing I was told to take is maybe short swords and scimitars, which I've got the short sword of First Blood, which does an extra 1d8 damage to someone who's got all their hit points, and also speed of reply. So when we hit an enemy with this weapon, we get momentum for 2 turns, and that increases our movement speed by 10 feet. For the ranged weapon, I've picked up Spell Thief because, well, we are an Eldritch Knight, so we can get back a spell slot once per short rest if we get a critical hit. So I've already toggled non-lethal attacks, so we can do that at the end of each battle. The helmet was, or the head slot was either said to be the Helmet of Grit for the extra bonus action if we're beneath 50% hit points, or the Circlet of Fire if we're going to deal damage with a non-cantrip spell. I've gone with the Circlet of Fire, so that can have a bonus action at high hit points instead of low, but obviously Helmet of Grit is permanent if we have below 50% hit points, which could work. We're fighters, we've got a fair number of hit points, and we have got Second Wind also. And then the Gloves of Flint and Steel, so that if we do use a fire spell, such as Burning Hands, when we deal fire damage, the enemy might start burning. The rest I've actually filled in, so I've gone for the best light armor that we can, studded leather armor +1. I've gone for the Amulet of Misty Steps so we can get around the battlefield, maybe use a bonus action. The Ring of Color Spray so we can at least make an offhand attack perhaps with advantage. The Ring of Fire since we'll be doing some fire damage. Mistress Grace just in case we want to jump off somewhere, we can have Featherfall. And also do want to point out I did use Auntie Ethel's Hair to get dexterity up to 20, and which is why I'm using light armor and not medium armor or even heavy armor. So our armor class is 18 because it's 13 plus 5 from our dexterity. So I'm here in the Arcane Tower and I'm going to go up and fight Bernard. I haven't really fought him in a battle on a video for quite a long time. So I'm going to go fight Bernard and show you how well we do. So this is the very beginning of the fight, and very luckily Ides of Tav, which is the name of this character, gets to go first, probably because of her high dexterity. And also, forgot to mention earlier, I did go to the Goblin Camp under the instruction, get the blessing from the Goblin Camp to have even higher hit chance. I think it means this one. So we're going to go up, and fortunately Bernard is resistant to both fire damage and our weapon attacks, but we're going to do it anyway. We've got an extra bonus action. He's on fire, which is nice. Actually going to do a tiny bit more damage next turn. Got 2 offhand attacks now. We'll try it. Just a 60% chance. It's not great. And since we're here, let's use a bonus action so we can get 2 more attacks in. Maybe one day one of them will hit, huh? Hey, there we are. We have a bit of damage. We got +1 damage because of the ring, even on the burning. Interestingly, Bernard used a potion of greater healing. I didn't think these things would work on constructs, but hey ho, there we are. Will managed to get both of these constructs to drop their weapons, so we're going to just disarm Bernard there. And this is our last spell slot. We'll try and pick this up. There we are. Get our 2 offhand attacks. This time we hit. That's good. We'll try a flourish as a bonus action. Could have helped someone else. Oh well. And then it might be worth actually running to the next target, getting away from the edge here. We've got extra movement speed. Bernard's going to get an opportunity attack, but I don't think it matters that much. Can't hurt us that much. I didn't even get an opportunity attack. Alright. Bernard was taken out by a bunch of level 3 spells. We've got Spirit Guardians and a couple of fireballs and he's down. So now we've got our fighter here, Ides of Tav, to come around and start whacking away at the animated armors. So we've run out of spell slots. Bit of a shame. I could cast Colour Spray, but that just gives me advantage for what would be one attack for her. So we're going to go with Piercing Strike to see if we can... Oh well, yeah, that makes sense, doesn't it? But because of the short sword of First Blood, which I think is a great choice, we actually managed to do a very decent amount of damage. 16 damage. Because they had 4 hit points, we got Break the Unbroken. And it looks like it made 2 saving throws because of the 2 sets of damage. Not quite how it should work, probably. Oh well, we'll try again. Oi, oi, gone. Easy stuff. Taking it down in 1 turn. Right, next. We'll just knock this animated armor down. The thing is, we don't want to use our bonus action if we can help it, because it means we get 1 extra attack, which is really quite useful. Perhaps I could have used Fairy Fire at the beginning, but for this particular fight, the enemies are very spread out, so we're really focusing on 1 at a time. Could use Repulsor. I have actually gone down to Amelium and actually done the quest before coming up to here. No, we'll just attack. Whack, whack, and... Oh, not quite. That would have been nice to finish off 2 in 2 turns. Since I'm dual wielding, when I've been clicking attack, I have been making 2 attacks. If you want to turn that off, click on the toggle dual wielding button or press R. There we are. One thing we can do is probably worth doing a lot of the time is because of these boots, we can cast Featherfall at will. And if you're about to go into a battle, there's no reason not to really. So I'm going to come up to here, and I think I'm just going to start by casting Fairy Fire on them. They don't seem to mind, mostly because they passed their saving throws. So what we're going to do is start the fight by doing this. Because we had advantage, high ground, all that good stuff. And we're going first again. Right. Looks like I can't quite make it in there, which is a bit sad. So what I'm going to do is just going to jump down. I've got Featherfall. It's not a problem. Then what I can do... Well, perhaps I should have gone to a better position than this. Whoops. What I then can do... Get a bit of Burning Hands going. Oh yeah, take out 1 of them. Got an extra bonus action here. Whack. I forgot I was using the Ritual Dagger instead of my Scimitar. Oh well, I've now got Bless. Let's try and use it. Cast Burning Hands again. I don't think I will. But in fact, since I've got it, it might do quite well. Get this going. Didn't quite take any of them out, but we're getting there, getting there. So this is a fight is more about taking out multiple weaker enemies than individual strong or medium kind of challenge enemies. Now, since I do have the Ritual Dagger, it's quite good to use it offhand first, because then we get Bless if we hit the other attack. Ah, there's the knocked out. So what I'm actually going to do now is switch to the bow, pick an attack. It's a critical hit, because we knocked out the Kuatoa, and we've got a spell slot back. Oh, a bit sadly, I can't now take another action, even though that was just a single attack. Oh well, we'll be fine, not a problem. Now, since we've got a couple of enemies to hit, it might make sense to use an Area of Effect spell. We're going to use Burning Hands again. Get our lovely bonus action so we can attack twice. Second attack, even more likely to hit. But I think we're already at a 95% chance. Yeah, we're taking them down. Bual here has been doing quite a nice job at murdering Ides of Tav. So we're starting to run out of hit points. We are a fighter. Try and heal ourselves a little bit. And then I suppose I could use another spell. I don't think any of these are actually particularly needed. Perhaps, just for the sake of it, just going to walk away. He's not taking an opportunity attack because he's blinded. So I'm, trying to get away from him. See how well that works. He's just going to come out. Will got kind of lucky with his Eldritch Blast and it pushed Bual right onto the edge of the darkness. So now I'm hoping, yeah, we can attack with advantage because Bual is blinded. We are not. We're going to go with an offhand attack first. Nice, critical hit, blood sacrifice. Attack. And lastly, whack. Knocked out. Just what we needed. So the billet fight's about to start. I've spread everyone out a bit. Gale's not even in the combat, okay. And it looks like Ides of Tav goes first yet again. So I've got her to beneath 50% hit points so that she has 2 bonus actions consistently. So yeah, she can't make it. So what we could do, we could jump, but it's going to be okay. We're just going to dash this time. Now using the offhand attack first is a bit sad because it would be better to have used the short sword of first blood. It's a bit late for that. So we're just going to go for this, get some momentum going in a very literal sense. That. Now, because I turned off dual wielding, my opportunity attack just did a single attack. Oh dear, look at that. Gale just came in to get knocked down. Lucky him. So because of momentum, we can actually just about reach the billet here.
What path lies before me?
It's got a lot of hit points, so we can't use colour spray, unfortunately. But we can just start whacking away. Now, one thing the viewer said of this is people like characters who can bonk a lot. So we're just going to get loads of attacks in. 3, 4. Yeah, nice. And we're getting quite consistent damage because we've got this +5 to dexterity. We're rolling quite high as well. 6 on 1d6, 5 on 1d6. We're getting close to the end now. I'd say we're on 48 hit points. Let's try. Burning Hands doesn't work anymore in terms of getting an extra bonus action. Colour Spray's got too many hit points, so we're just going to keep on attacking. Now, it would have been best to use Piercing Strike first. Never mind. Yeah, look at that. Oh, they saved against it, though. I mean, why not? Oh, because we only do 10 hit points of damage. That's why not. You think we can do it in 3 hits? Well, we'll see. Uh-oh. Probably not now. I mean, 4 hits, not 3. Ooh. Come on, it's possible. If this hits. Knocked out. So what we're coming to get, and this is thanks to Jib and Fade who pointed this out to me, is this practice sword. Why do we want this practice sword? Because it's light and it's a finesse weapon, but it does bludgeoning damage. This would actually be much better for a rogue or a thief who could probably use sneak attack with this weapon. But I just want to use this against the Minotaurs because one of them is vulnerable against bludgeoning damage. Over there. Alright. Hide. Take the practice sword. If we get seen, we'll just pay our way out of it. And let's just go back down to the beach. So now we can... Where should we put it? Let's put it in our offhand. And because it's finesse, we do get a +5 damage and it's an out offhand. Alright, I do advise all of you make rogues on this or using this weapon. And I might make a video based on that. Right, let's go find the Minotaurs and see how well this will work. Now, very interestingly, this practice sword is sheathed, is actually holstered on our side, not our back. It seems to be the only sword that is. Every other sword seems to go on the back. It kind of looks a bit cooler, to be honest, a bit nicer to see. Right, we're going to go fight the Minos. Now this time, Ides of Tav doesn't go first, though she might get targeted by this Minotaur. Right, Gale's going to get out of the way, then we'll see what happens. Right, we all get to go together. So we're going to help ourselves. We're going to get Shadowheart to cast Bless. Now let's see. Yes, this is the one that's vulnerable to bludgeoning damage. Right, we're going to try Piercing Strike. Gaping Wounds. I love it. Right, we're going to attack. We're doing some damage. You know, we're doing alright. This is where the damage starts to rack up. Whack. Look at that. 12 damage because it's vulnerable. Again. Whack. 14 plus 2 from Gaping Wounds. Perhaps I should have put the Bludgeoning Sword inside my main hand. So if I use Action Surge, I could attack 2 more times against this one Minotaur. I don't think we'll need it. We'll get Gale to finish this guy off, hopefully. Although 36 is actually a bit high, but we'll get Gaping Wounds, we'll get lots of Agonizing Blast. Yep. Right. And that happened because with the Piercing Strike, we're getting Agonizing Blast on top of that damage, which is not really supposed to be happening. And now for the grand finale, hopefully grand finale, we're going to cast Haste on Ides of Tav. Why? So we can get a whole load of bonks out and we can actually reach this Minotaur. Here we are. Now we can't use Piercing Strike again. It's once per short rest. But let's go. We won't be able to kill it probably. We got the extra 1d8 damage from the short swords. We get a couple of offhand attacks. Another 2 attacks because we're hasted. And then we're going to get an Action Surge. Because why wouldn't we want this? I've got the Helmet of Grit still. 1 and 2. So we haven't quite killed it, but we've done fairly well. I've done 67 damage, just with weapons that have 1d6. He's now giving us advantage against him. Oh well, we're not going to die because it's only one Minotaur. Oh, we've got 2 actions, which is 4 attacks, plus another 2 offhand attacks coming up. There's no way this Minotaur is going to survive. Oh no, 2 and done, knocked out. And again, I didn't really need to use any of my spell slots, but let's say I used jump. I can now come and get that spell slot back. Oh, not by hitting. Oh, that's a mistake, isn't it? There we are. Spell slot back. So let me know what you think of Ides of Tav. I quite like it because we get lots of attacks. We've got our main stat at 20, which is always lovely. Having a high dexterity is great for things like initiative also. And these aren't the strongest weapons, but we are limited to light weapons. And it's kind of nice being an Eldritch Knight. I would have preferred to be a Battle Master just because I personally prefer Battle Masters in general. We could have done extra damage on top of these attacks. But hey ho, nothing wrong with Eldritch Knights. We get extra utility. So if you like this build, do consider subscribing. If you want to join my membership or Discord, check the description below. Oh, there goes Duty. Right. And hopefully I'll catch you in the next one.
Careful. I've only got one good eye left.